for action, ready to electrify the WWE Universe yet again.
The final boss is ready to lay down the hammer, Cole, to lead with an iron fist. Sometimes...
Throw your ones to the sky, Shackers. This is Longread's editor David L. Craddock here, and I got to play a preview build of WWE 2K25 hosted by 2K over the Royal Rumble weekend. I was really excited to spend time with the game and came away pleasantly surprised at the perfect balance of new and old that so far 2K and Visual Concept have struck with this game. It'll be available in 3 editions. It's coming out this March. The 3 editions are the Standard, Deadman, and Bloodline editions. The artwork on the special edition cases is very striking. That's one of the first things I noticed in last week's cover reveal. And I think if you're a fan, you'll probably want to spring for one of those special editions. 2K and Visual Concept have done a great job of making the extras feel worth having. And of course, you probably will be able to pick them up in season passes and stuff too if you prefer to get the Standard edition. But all of that stuff looks like a lot of fun. The good news is if you've played any of the previous editions, especially ones from the last few years, you should be able to jump right in because the controls carry over from those games. Things like light and hard strikes, grapples, submissions, carrying, entering and exiting the ring, looking for weapons, using weapons, all that stuff felt familiar, and I was able to jump right into the action and completely school the AI and test out some of the new features too. Some are new and some are new, quote unquote. For example, intergender matches return. So if you've ever wondered what a match like Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill versus The Rock and Jacob Fatu would look like, now you can find out and control the action yourself. Chain wrestling returns, which is really cool. I've always kind of gravitated toward catch-as-catch-can technical wrestlers like Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, Bryan Danielson, the latter of which of course is not in this game, but just as an example. And chain wrestling let me immerse myself deeper in that type of match with those types of wrestlers. I would say the real star, the real highlight of WWE 2K25, so far for me at least, is the showcase mode. It's Bloodline focused, which is a story that's been going on since 2020 in WWE. It's arguably their best story ever, and this mode so far from what I've seen does a great job of capturing that. If you played previous showcase modes, you'll have a pretty good idea of how this works. You can relive matches by playing certain wrestlers in certain roles and completing objectives to unlock unlockables and watch matches play out during certain scripted moments. 2K says you'll also be able to change the outcome of matches in certain circumstances. I didn't play any of those, but I'm looking forward to seeing how that works. The 2 matches that I played were Nia Jax's match to become Queen of the Ring and Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns at the 2022 Royal Rumble. The Nia Jax match was a lot of fun, but the real highlight for me was the one-on-one between Roman and Seth at the Rumble from a few years ago now. I loved that match. I thought it was a great example of great psychology, great wrestling between the 2 characters, and the showcase mode captured that perfectly. I also unlocked some cool stuff when I finished it, but you'll have to wait and find out what you get for yourself when the game comes out later this year. The promise for WWE 2K25 is the largest roster ever of over 300 characters from NXT, the main roster, and legends, you know, the usual mix that you can expect from a WWE 2K game. Not all of those wrestlers are available, and I'm not allowed to talk about all the available wrestlers just yet, but I did get to take my personal GOAT, The Rock, for a spin. I was really excited to see his final boss entrance, and it lived up to the hype for me. Crowd still chanting Rocky, so he doesn't seem to be a heel, but you know, the crowd was chanting Rocky anyway because you just can't deny he's that damn good, if I may borrow one of Triple H's catchphrases. The entrances are all great from what I've seen. You know, they're the spectacles you would expect from the 2K series. I know I keep saying that, but again, I think this game so far has struck a great balance between familiar and new, which every entry in an annualized series should strive to do. I was also able to play some triple threat matches, some fatal 4-way matches, some backstage brawls, and those play out how you'd expect as well. There's still a ton of fun. The AI still targets you really fast, preternaturally fast, I'd say, faster than any human player could target the AI in return, but you know, you got to take the good with the bad in these things. I also got to try out the new Underground match, which is one of the new features this year, but I can't talk about that quite yet. So overall, yeah, I came away really impressed with my time with WWE 2K25. I'm a huge wrestling fan. I'm a huge fan of this series, and 2K25 so far is shaping up to be exactly what I want it to be. An updated roster, updated showcase, updated other modes, such as WWE Universe mode, which wasn't available in the preview build, so I'm excited to try that out as well. I would say, if you're a wrestling fan, this is something you'll want to keep an eye on as it heads towards its March release date. It's, again, a perfect balance between familiar and new so far, and shaping up to be a banner year for the series.